Hey everybody, I'm Kirsten. This is the Beyond High C channel, and we are all about people with aphasia and people surviving stroke and brain injury, giving them inspiration and tools and exercises they can use to help their speech recovery go better. You can get your recovery going better and faster. I promise you, and I hope that gives you hope. I have a brand new webinar I'm doing live every week, and I would love for you to come and spend a few minutes with me and find out exactly what mistakes you might be making and what steps you can take right now to get your speech recovery happening so much faster than you thought possible. The link is in the pinned comments below. It'll be in the description too. And I hope you will check that out and come and join me. I promise it'll be worth your while and you'll be excited that you did. Whew. All right, now today's tip has to do with questions because I'm so privileged to have different levels of classes, and as people get better and better and they start working on their conversation skills, I find they ask a tremendous amount of questions. Here's the challenge with that, and I have to tell you, I have what might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion about questions, and that is you really shouldn't ask them very much in your conversations because it's like playing a game of tennis. As soon as you ask a question of the other person, you have sent the ball back over the net. Now it's no longer in your court, it's in someone else's court. So we lose the opportunity to hear, what do you think about it? What are your experiences on the topic? And we lose the opportunity to connect with you over that. That's what communication is about, right? It's about connection with other humans. If you're not able to share and express your ideas, then we won't get to know you. And that is a big miss. So I want to encourage you to try to reserve your questions, limit them. And instead, when you hear somebody say something interesting and you want to show interest in that thing, instead, be mindful. See if you can find a key element, a key idea they said. Can you relate to it? And then try to relate. I'm going to give you a little example right now. So I was talking with someone I was coaching with earlier today, and I was starting a conversation to see how he could get involved in the conversation and keep something interesting going. So I made mention that my neighbors are thinking about replacing their fence. And there was a worker in my yard, and he was nervous that I didn't want him in my yard, which was totally fine with me that he was there. So the person I have with aphasia who was trying to get into the conversation asked me a question about whether my neighbor's fence had fallen down. And it turns out that he was asking that question because his daughter had a fence that had blown down recently in a storm. And what I let him know was, you can skip the question altogether and you could simply relate. So I was proud of him because he heard me talking about a fence and a fence that might be being repaired pretty soon. And in his mind, up popped his daughter and his daughter's fence. Does that happen for you? Do your ideas, your opinions, and experiences pop up in your mind when someone else is talking? Ideally, they would. And if you're not at that place, you can get to that place. And I'll make that another video about how do you get to that place. But if your idea has popped up, let it be a statement. Make a comment. Connect with the other person over it. So what he could have done is said, because the thing is, he asked me a question. Did your neighbor's fence fall over? And I could have just said, no. And I did say at first, no, it didn't just fall over. Well, then the conversation's over then. But if I'd have said, oh, my neighbors are considering building a fence, a new fence, replacing theirs, my person with aphasia could have said, oh, my daughter just had to get her fence repaired because it blew over in a storm. Well, that's a much more interesting place to go with the conversation. You want to try to avoid those yes or no dead ends. And you want to try to pique and inspire someone's curiosity so that you can have an interesting conversation going in an ongoing way. So if he'd have said, oh, my daughter's fence just blew over in a storm, they had to get it replaced, I might say something like, oh, wow, storms can be pretty scary. What else might I say? I have dogs and they get very nervous in storms, and hopefully their whole family was okay. And then he might go on to say, oh, well, they don't have dogs. Who knows where the conversation could have gone. Do you see where I'm going with this? And now I'm relating to him and he is relating to me through some kind of thread that's woven through the conversation with me. I hope that makes sense. Now, those of you who might be here trying to get your words to come out better and pronouncing better, let's say a couple of these sentences that I've just been talking about with the idea of questions, not asking so many questions, but connecting with others. We're talking about the neighbor's fence. So a couple of complete sentences you can say with me would be, I have nice neighbors. Say that. I have nice neighbors. Feel the rhythm? I have nice neighbors. I have nice neighbors. What was wrong with the neighbors? What were they trying? Well, nothing was wrong with them, but what were they trying to do? Do you remember? You could say it as if I could hear you. They were thinking of replacing it's that thing, sometimes it's white with pickets. It outlines your yard. It starts with a fence. I'm talking about my neighbors. There are two of them, and I said them, so I would use the pronoun they, and this next sentence could be, they want to replace their fence. Say that with me. They want to replace their fence. One more time. They want to replace their fence. Fence. Okay, I hope that inspires you. If you're on the level where you're able to hear what someone is saying, you want to get into the conversation. So many people in my classes, they want to be a bigger part of the conversation. Is that true for you? I want to encourage you to connect, find a common key element and connect on that with your idea or your experience or your opinion rather than asking a question. I'm so glad you have found this channel. I hope you're subscribed. I hope you'll go check out the webinar. It is live, it is brand new, and it's happening every week. It's pinned below this video and in the description, and I cannot wait to see you again in the next video. Thank you for watching.